Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the mighty Most High, our Creator, who is one supreme Spirit, the Almighty, the all you can see, the all you cannot see, the visible and invisible, the authority, the rider, the perpetual, eternal, self-existing Spirit of truth, the living one. All praise and glory to the Spirit of truth. He is worthy of all praise. Blessings to the children who serve one God, those chosen children of Israel. Here we're making it to the first chapter of Joshua. I've now completed the first 5 books of Moses. That's a milestone. Smash the like button. Be grateful for the services, the lessons that I bring. If you're grateful, give all praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth. We're going to bounce back and forth a little bit, go through some scriptures and stuff, because we're at a point now where I can start navigating back and forth a little bit. So I'm really happy about that. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide, now, again, we have a Lord who's speaking with Joshua, son of Nun, all right? The Lord in this definition is the self-existing eternal creator. It's Numbers 30:68 in the Strong's Concordance. It is the proper name of the God of Israel, the Lord. But I know a lot of Israelites today that don't even call the Supreme Spirit the Lord or Yahweh. In fact, I read it in a comment the other day that YHWH, Yahweh, the reason why they stopped pronouncing it was because they didn't know the vowels and they were afraid that they may be blaspheming the Creator's name, which is a wise thing because the Bible does say that you're not to invoke the names of other gods or have them heard across your lips. So Moses, my servant, is dead. So this is a Lord Yahweh, okay, and we always confirm with what I'm sharing with you guys. Exodus chapter 15, verse 3, Bible Hub. A priest that I used to listen to a long time ago taught me this Bible, all right? Or at least he taught me how to read the Bible. My confusion came because I believed that we're all one human race. And that's why this Bible doesn't make sense to people that are reading it, because you also believe that we're all one human race. We're not one human race. We're 2 races of people. And between those 2 races of people, we've been breeding out vampires and Nephilim, demons and devils. So when people laugh at you and talk about demons and devils, folks, it's you. You're the demon. It's your family that's the demon. It's your ways and the way you walk contrary to God that is the demon. So, as I said, YHWH here is his name. Yahweh is a man of battle. So the minute, this is a man that's been speaking to Moses all along. And this is why this man was capable of sitting with Moses face to face as one sits with a friend. Remember that parable? That's 33 verse 11. That Moses sits down with the Lord like a friend face to face. All right? But then the Lord says what? No one can see his face and live. That's a contradiction. Okay? Also down here you have Jehovah as a man. So both Jehovah and right here, Yahweh, are men. Both of these gods are men, which leads me to the parable 32:30 as well, where Jacob wrestles with the angel. He sees God face to face. His life is preserved, and he names the place Peniel. Okay, so now we know that the Lord here is the proper name of God of Israel, all right? And a lot of Israelites don't call the Supreme Spirit. They call him the Almighty. They call him Most High, Supreme Spirit. of truth. That's what I call the Creator, is the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One. I call the Creator the Living One. These titles and stuff that have been given to gods are all in flesh suits. Okay, anything that's in flesh suit, let me be very clear, okay, before I continue on. John chapter 4, verse 24, Bible Hub. Pay close attention to what I tell you here. God is spirit, okay, which is the breath, okay? The breath is what was breathed into the second man, Adam. This is crucial for you to understand, because the first man, Adam, that was created in Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 and 27, doesn't have the breath on it. It doesn't have the spirit. It's created in an image of God. Okay, and also pay close attention here. This God here is a magistrate. Okay, it's a divinity. Okay, a divinity is a divine being that is divided from the Supreme Spirit. This is not the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one, but is a deity God, especially the supreme divinity of this plane of existence. When the Spirit for the Israelites says to you, you are not to worship any other gods, this is the gods that you're not supposed to be worshiping. They're magistrates. And then you have the word magi in the word magistrate. And a magi, we know, is a sorcerer, is a wizard, or a witch. Okay? So this is how we put it together. So the Lord here is his name, Yahweh. Okay, but I don't call the Lord Yahweh either. I just call on the Spirit of Truth, the living one, the supreme authority, the writer, the eternal, the self-existing. Those are all good titles for the Supreme Spirit of Truth. Anything on this plane of existence. Also, I want to touch something I said the other day as well, that if the Supreme Spirit for Israel is giving you a command that ye shall not worship any other gods, then that is implying that other gods exist. Okay? And therefore, if other gods exist, then these demons that were created, what are they? They're all, hold on here. Okay, when we come here to Psalms 8:5, this is talking about what is man that you are mindful of him, or the Son of Man. Okay, understand that the Son of Man is the firstborn Israel. Okay, you care for him. You made him lower, a little lower than the angels. Well, who are they talking about here? You crowned him with glory and honor. Who crowned who? Well, doesn't it say that Jesus is the son of David, the bright morning star? This is, you crowned him. So they're talking about who crowned Jesus with honor and glory. King David did, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, in this verse, David reflects on God's creation of man. He views man as having been created a little lower than the heavenly beings, the angels. Hebrews 2:9 applies to Psalms 8:5 to Jesus. So Jesus is the one that's being equated in this parable, that Jesus here was made lower than the angels. Although he created the heavenly beings, Jesus chose to become a man in order to die in the place of sinful man. This here, right here from this, is all an add-on. Jesus chose to become man in order to die in the place of sinful man. Jesus chose to become man. When did Jesus choose to become man? In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 27. When that God, Elohim, creates a man in his image, this is a lowercase God. This is a plural God. This isn't the supreme creator. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people," remember, this is a man talking to Joshua now. This is not the Spirit, the supreme Spirit of truth. It's something that is always used. We are all, everything, good and evil, used for the supreme Spirit's glory, no other's glory. "You and all these people, get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give to them, to the Israelites." Israel, look, the elites right there. It's telling you, the elected, the elevated, the L as a unit, good and evil. There's only good and evil. That's all that exists. This is what you need to put in your mind. All that exists is good and evil. There was a chosen people that were created good. Sadly for them, you're stiff-necked people and you're not paying attention to the commandments of your Creator. Understand, folks, Gentile, if you're a Gentile and you're listening to this, that Israel's God is not the same as your made-up fantasy God. You understand? Israel is being told not to wage with those in the cities of the towns of Samaritans, okay? If you do, then you are going to pay a high price. "I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses." Your territory, but there's a conflict for me, as I promised Moses, but Moses didn't get into the promised land. He only got to look at it, but he never got to enter it. So I don't know, that's kind of wishy-washy there. Your territory will extend from the desert of Lebanon. The desert of Lebanon, isn't the Assyrians in Lebanon? Whew. The deeper I get into this Bible and start understanding these footholds and these tribes and everything, the more the Bible comes clear to me. This is what Brother Rapp taught us. Your territory will extend from the deserts of Lebanon. But the Assyrian is a tree in Lebanon. Why is the Spirit moving you into a Gentile city? To conquer and destroy? And from the great river, the Euphrates. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that the Gentile deserve anything that they have coming to them. I am a very blessed person and very special. You know why? Because the Spirit of God knows in my heart that I've never had any will that was evil towards anybody that was of color. Never. In fact, I've got along better with people that were of color than of my own race. And when I say my own race, I mean evil. My race is evil, okay? American government race is evil. The country America is in depravity. It's an awful place to live right now. I mean, the best place to be in America is a town with 250 people in it, man. You know, that's where it's heading to. All the Hittite country to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. And remember, the Hittites had to go to war with Moses and Pharaoh. No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. This is Joshua he's talking to. "As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their ancestors to give them." Just a real quick question today. If Yahweh was a man, as I've showed you many times in my lessons, where's Yahweh today? Is he omnipresent as a man today? I would have to say not. So this was the whole purpose of this plane of existence, is a slave state. And it was created as a slave world. You're born into this, you become a slave. Who do you become a slave to? The slave masters. Who are the slave masters? Those that were created on the sixth day of creation. Those that were the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The Gentile who fell away from God knew of good and evil. They knew when they fell away from God that they pissed God off. Then you fell away from God in spiritual form. This is why you can never return to heaven. Okay. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the laws my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, because if you do, you will get hit in your mouth, that you may be successful wherever you go. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. This is so important for, look, Gentile. I got to say to Israel, if there's Israel that's listening to this, my messages are not to teach Israel. I'm an information channel. I'm just simply bringing information. I'm here to save Gentiles. I'm here to save Christians and anybody that's outside, that's standing outside of the law. Understand that the lawless ones were never given the law. That's why they're called the lawless ones. It's simple. Okay? Those created on the sixth day of creation in Genesis 1:25 are the lawless ones, the beasts of the field that were created each according to their kind. You got to keep that in mind. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So Yahweh being a man, then Yahweh, why is it in the Bible telling us that Yahweh is a man? When I simply worship the Spirit, the truth. I walk in the truth today, folks. Okay? I'm not jerking anybody's chain or anything. I'm not trying to lead anybody astray. I'm trying to lead you back to the rightful worship of one God, the supreme Spirit of truth. He that created good and evil. It's difficult for me to even say he, because God says that he's not a man, and we identify man as a masculine. And nowhere in the Bible does it say that God is not a woman. It only says that God is not a man. That's subject. I'm just pointing things out. Has things been taken out of the Bible? I love the Spirit of truth. The Spirit says that we're to worship him in spirit. We're to worship the Spirit, spirit and truth. That's what it is. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. The Spirit of truth. Okay, Elohim, understand that Elohim are all something that are used of the Supreme Spirit of truth. Okay, Elohim are still lowercase gods. Elohim are many gods, and you have the word man in many, telling you that Elohim are man. Okay, when Jacob wrestles with the angel, this parable tells you he wrestles with the angel, he wrestles with man, and he wrestles with God. What does that tell you if these three parables are telling you anything at all? They're telling you that we are of God. Look, Jesus even said so himself. Jesus replied, is it not written in your law, I have said ye are gods? Okay, Jesus here has said that we are gods. The Lord and two other Israelites. Of Hebrew origin, the name of our Lord, this is, look, I don't worship the Lord. I don't worship Lord of Yahweh. I don't worship Lord Jesus. I don't worship any Lord at all of this plane of existence. I worship the Spirit of truth. Those that worship the Supreme Spirit must worship the Spirit and truth. Spirit and truth. Spirit and truth. Say it with me. Spirit and truth. The name our Lord and two other Israelites. Who are the two other Israelites? I would say that this would be Elijah and Enoch. Right? That's what I was told from another Hebrew Israelite. If I'm correct, man, put it down there. Smash the like button. Say hello. Say thank you for the lesson. Jesus says, is it not written in your law? So Jesus is always comparing things to the law. Well, what's the law? The law is what I just finished reading to you, the 5 books of Moses. It's the last chapter I just completed, Deuteronomy chapter 34. Okay, so now When did Jesus say this? Is it not written in your law? Well, the law is the Torah. I have said ye are gods. When did Jesus say this? Well, it also says here, they do not know or understand. They wander in darkness. What have I told you about this word? Darkness is sorrow, pain, grief, torment, wickedness, death. That's what you so if something's walking around in darkness, then that means it's the walking dead. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. I have said, ye are gods. You are all sons of the Most High. Sons of the Most High, they're talking about Israel. This is Israel right here. See, Jesus Christ crucified is the firstborn over all creation. And then the sons of Adam are the firstborn to the Most High. You understand? There's two different creations going on, folks. You have to swallow this pill. You have to understand that the sixth day of creation was all that took place, was created evil. And then whatever it was, that God that created all that evil blessed it and said that it was good. This God that loves evil blessed evil and said that evil is good. Okay, this is not Israel's God. Israel's God was Elohim that was good and put the breath in you. Somehow your DNA was changed and you were a higher bloodline, closer to the Supreme Spirit than those of the Gentile race. But it tells you, like mortals, you will die. Sons of the Most High, like mortals, you will die, and like rulers, you will fall. Why? Because they will die like gods. You will be like gods, but you're going to die like mortal men. So, I'm not saying anything. It's just, I believe that there's one supreme spirit of truth. All right? And that this plane of existence is something that is used to train the soul in a virtual reality. So Joshua ordered the officers of the people, go through the camp and tell the people, get your provisions ready. 3 days from now, you will cross the Jordan here to go in and take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you for your own. So, question, ask yourself, does Israel own this land today? But to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribes of Manasseh, Joshua said, remember the commands that Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you after he said, the Lord your God will give you rest by giving you this land. Your wives, your children, and your livestock may stay in the land that Moses gave you east of the Jordan. But all your fighting men ready for battle must cross over ahead of your fellow Israelites. You are to help them until the Lord gives them rest as he has done for you, and until they have too taken possession of the land the Lord your God is giving them. After that, you may go back and occupy your own land, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you east of the Jordan towards the sunrise. You know what, folks? I just got to point out to you that God's chosen children, the children of Israel, are a nation of children with their faces dark to the ground. Dark to the ground in this aspect means that they are black to the ground. The children of Israel are black to the ground. All right? So I want you to consider what I'm telling you. That those Hebrews, or they ain't even Hebrews, but those Nazi Khazar Jews that live in the province of Jerusalem today are not the true Hebrew children of God. God's children are black to the ground. Okay? Those that are in the province of Jerusalem today are white imposters. They're not the true Jew. Do you understand that? You must understand that this plane of existence is called identity theft. Okay? Yeshua's identity was stolen from Jesus Christ crucified. Okay? There's two Adams, there's two Jesus, there's two Moses, there's two Bibles, there's two books. And it's telling you so. And I'm so perfectly putting it in your face and showing you. I've showed you with scriptures plenty of times. Okay. Then they answered Joshua, whatever you have commanded us, we will do, and whatever you send us, we will go. Just as we fully obeyed Moses, so we will obey you. But Israel never paid any attention to Moses. This is why you guys are in captivity. You didn't stray. You were led into captivity. You were purposely led into captivity for your woeful, treacherous acts against your Creator, the one that put the breath of life on you. You're embarrassing Him to the darker side of these other gods, the ones that God's saying, your God is saying, you shall have no other gods before me. If Israel's God, Yahweh, is telling you that you shall have no other gods before him, and you're in the cities and the Samaritans, and you're practicing pagan worship, and you're engaging in pagan holidays, the HOLIDAY is not the holy days, the HOLY days, not the holy days, but the WHOLLY, the holy, all you can see, all you cannot see, those days, you keep those holy days, not the holidays. The holidays are all pagan. I'm telling you that the language that the English speak here is a split-tongue language. You've been hearing it from me for some time now. You need to wake up to that. Just as we fully obeyed Moses, so will we obey you. Only may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Only may the Lord your God, now Israel hears by saying, oh, why not? Only may the Lord our God. Huh? Only may the Lord our God. Why only may the Lord your God? This should be our God, Israel's God. This should be all of your God, not your God, not Joshua's God, but Israel's God. Only may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Whoever rebels against your word and does not obey it, whatever you may command them, will be put to death. Only be strong and courageous. See, folks, Gentile point their finger at God Yahweh. And that, just saying God Yahweh is a spiritual being, that he's an evil God. No, what you got to understand is that you were taken into captivity by lawless nations when you rebelled against God. Okay, God gave Israel one commandment. That commandment was, do not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, period. No one can question the Creator why he said it. Now, we must assume that if he's a creator, then he knew that that man would come inside of the garden and that he would coax, because he's omnipotent and he's all-knowing and he's all-present. He's supreme. He's the authority. He's the rider. He is the courageous one that moves all things in place. There is none beside the supreme spirit of truth. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Israel, even though Elohim are good Elohim, we are to worship no God by name. Elohim are still lowercase gods, something that are used of the supreme spirit. You can't be worshiping Elohim. You can't be worshiping angels. You can't be worshiping watchers. You can't be worshiping your children, your grandparents, your parents, your aunts, your uncles, anybody who's rich, anybody who has money, anybody who has fame. You can't place them in idol status worship. And that's what Israel has done. You have turned your back on your Creator. And hey, I'll take your blessings all day long. If you don't want them, I'll serve the Spirit of truth, the living one. It's that easy. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Smash the like button if you listened this far. Peace be with you, all the children that serve one God. If you're an Israelite and you're not serving the Spirit of God, you're going to get split like a damn wishbone, man, if you don't turn back to from your sinful ways, folks. The Spirit, He has allowed you to be beat down from Gentile. And Gentile, He's going to beat you down the same way. You're going to get yours the same way. And you know why I know that this is so true? Because when you tell another Gentile or Christian or anything like that they're going to get their share too, their double portion, they flip out, man. They freak out when you start telling a Christian that they're going to burn in hell. They hate it, man. When you put their doctrine on them and you point out to them that you're worshiping the devil. So now that I'm finished with that, I wanted to go over here. Jesus replied, and it was written in your law, I've said you're gods. When did Jesus say that, folks? We got to put this together. Genesis chapter 3, verse 5, Bible Hub. For God, Elohim, here, Elohim, plural of Eloah, gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used of the supreme creator. This God is being used of a supreme creator, Elohim. Elohim are both good and evil. Elohim are many gods. You have the word man and the word many, and that's what Elohim are. They are both used good and evil for the glory of God. God created good and evil. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7, Bible Hub. I form the light, singular, I form the light, and I create darkness. Darkness in this parable here, folks, is evil. I create it, okay? I make peace and I create evil, okay? Darkness is sorrow, pain, wickedness, and death. Darkness is death. I create death. I make peace and I create evil. I, the supreme spirit of truth, the living one, do all these things. That the skies pour down righteousness. Why? Because the supreme spirit is above. He has to come from above. Anything that's rising is rising from a pit. Okay, so when it says, arise, O Lord, you're talking about the Lord of darkness. Let the earth open, the Lord of darkness, and let them bring forth salvation. Salvation for who? For darkness, for those that didn't follow the statutes of God to be fed on. Gnashing of the teeth. Gnashing of the teeth, everybody seems to think is going to be from the fire burning up on your ass. Gnashing of the teeth is going to be from the bug race feeding off of your corpse. Okay, your bed will be maggots and your blanket worms is what the Bible says. And let's righteousness spring up together. Spring up like a fountain. I, the Lord, have created it. The Spirit has created it all. Okay? I have said you are gods, Jesus, again. You are all sons of the Most High. Sons of the Most High. Sons of the Most High are the firstborn. The crowd replied, we have heard from the law that the Christ will remain forever. So how can you say that the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is the Son of Man? The Son of Man is Israel. Firstborn Israel. It's the second man. The firstborn. Okay, let me show you something, man, before I close out here. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Bible Hub. This is the bloodline of the second man, Adam and Eve. This is Adam and Eve in the garden, okay? This one here's the man that had the breath of life breathed into his nostrils. Okay, this is what the channel here is trying to show you guys. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. This God here, who is Elohim, is a bad Elohim. It's an evil Elohim. It's mankind. It's being used of a supreme creator. This God, Elohim, plural of Eloah, gods in the ordinary sense, is specifically used of the supreme creator. So God created a man. This lower dimensional God created a man because it's not the supreme creator. It can't put a spirit on anything because it's not spirit. It's an illusion. It's created in an image. This is why God's telling us not to worship any graven images, because they're of the dead. Okay? In the image. So God created man, which it'll tell you this is Adam, a human being, mankind from Adam. No, man and mankind are not the same. From Adam, ruddy. This is the first man, Adam. Corinthians 15:45 Bible Hub. So it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living being. Adam. The last Adam, a life-giving spirit. The first man, Adam, became a living being is a lie. It's the last man, Adam, that is a living spirit, became a spirit, became living. This one can't be living if it's created in an image, and an image is a phantom, and a phantom is a ghost. So you have one that's molded from the ground. It says also in another parable that the first man was molded from the ground. That's not true. It's this man. It's the second man that's molded from the ground. You've got to understand duality exists. Satan grafted himself inside of the Bible. This is why Jesus said, do not cast your pearls before swine. Do not give dogs what is holy. What is Jesus saying here? Or Yeshua saying here? This is Yeshua talking. Do not give to the dogs what is holy. He's talking about this book that I'm reading to you. Do not throw your pearls before swine. Do not give this book to the Gentile. If you do, they may trample them under your feet. They're talking about your book, the Bible, and then turn and tear you to pieces. This is a serious spiritual battle that is taking place, folks. You got to wake up. Okay, so the Son of Man is the firstborn Israel. You made him a little lower than the angels, Jesus. Who crowned him? David. I showed you that earlier. Okay, but this is to fulfill what is written in their law. Who is their law? Israel. It's their law. Look. Romans chapter 8, verse 10, Bible Hub. Oh, it's the wrong one. It might be 2:12. Romans 2:12, Bible Hub. All who sin apart from the law will also perish apart from the law. So if the Gentile ain't living in the law either, then you are going to perish from the law. And all who sin under the law will be judged by the law. So if you are rebelling against God, then he is going to judge you by his law. There is a law that we're all on, even though we're the lawless ones, the Gentile are the lawless ones, the nations. Well, folks, everybody on this plane of existence is living in lawlessness down there. I mean, there are a few that just, they got their shit girded up so tight that they are such wonderful servants of the Most High, and they don't buy into the sin of this world. They're not on the internet watching pornography. They're not. But I've got news for you, man. 95% of this world is, because they're shoving it down our face. For as many who have sinned without law shall also perish without law. For as many Gentile have sinned without the law, the Torah, shall also perish without the law. You, Gentile, are going to perish without the law. And as many man, again, Elohim, and as Elohim as have sinned in the law, shall be judged by the law, because Elohim are mankind. I'm breaking it down for you, folks, okay? You will be judged by the law. So here Jesus is the one that comes in here and he says, God knows that in the day you eat thereof, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. King James Bible, for God does know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now, Christian Gnostics will tell you that this is Jesus that came in the garden to free Adam and Eve from the tyranny of an evil Yahweh, because Yahweh wanted to keep you without any kind of knowledge at all. He wanted to keep you without anything, just keep you as your slaves. Because clearly Yahweh, he condones slavery. No, Yahweh only does what he's commanded to do. Yahweh is a man, so anything that is a man is subject to the Supreme Spirit who created good and evil. And it's that simple, folks. All right, I think that's another well done lesson. 40 minutes down, and much love to you all who serve the Spirit of truth. Walk in the Spirit of truth. Talk the Spirit of truth. Share 666. This channel has deciphered 666. Why will not an Israelite share 666? If I'm a Gentile and I'm exposing our Bible now, you understand? I say that the Bible today is both the Gentile and Israel's book, because the Bible has been changed from the Gentile. So I would say that makes it our book now. It's no longer an Israelite book alone by itself. It's for both the Gentile and the children of God. Understand that the only reason the New Testament was written, folks, is to expose the evil of the Bible, man. If you can't see clearly that there's contradictions, and I'm planning on doing a video on contradictions of Yahweh, because Yahweh's always changing his mind inside of this Bible too, folks. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's a fact. Yahweh's changing his mind. I'm going to show you. I got dozens and dozens of scriptures here that I'm going to show you. So you got to ask yourself, anything that is used, this is what I mean, anything on this plane of existence is a two-faced God. It's us. We're two-faced gods. We are the lie. We are the liars. We are the ones that lie to our children about a Santa Claus coming down a chimney through fire and bringing us gifts if we've been good all year. And the whole freaking nation is in on it. You lie to your children. All of you, the nation, lie to your children. And then you say, it's just fun. No, you guys, it has nothing to do with fun. It has to deal with evil. It's that simple. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. All praise and glory to the Spirit of truth, the spiral of life, no beginning and no end. This is White Raptor News Ministries.